Hi, I'm Alison Melley. I teach in the psychology department at George Mason, and I'm here today to tell you about Perusall, which was developed by some faculty members at Harvard in order to help students do readings before class and come to class more prepared. So what I've done is, rather than do the whole teaching about Perusall in this video, is I created a course for you to join in Perusall where we can learn together over time if you wish to. So if you go to perusall.com and register for an account, you can then join my course with this code. So it will look like this, and all you'll do is click on login, and then it'll take you to a page where you can register. And so if you just click down here and register, and it will take you to a place where you can create an account. If you use your EDU email address, you can convert it later to an instructor account. When you first join, you'll be a student, and you'll be a student in my course, but I'll show you later how to change that, or it'll be in there. The information will be in there on how to change that. Okay, and then there's some videos in there and some documents in there where you can practice using Perusall as a student, and we can just kind of play around in there. So if you don't want to do that, or if you just want to learn a little bit more now before you do that, I'll tell you a bit about how I use Perusall. So you can put Perusall into, or you can put your readings as PDFs into Perusall, and your students go in there and read, and then they can comment on the reading, and then they can see each other's comments, and they can reply. And you can go in there and answer questions and correct misconceptions and any other conversations you want to have with students. And then you can prep for class using their comments and questions. So a typical workflow is to set up the course by putting in your documents and anything else you want to use in there, setting up assignments, and you can link them to Blackboard so that your students can just click through to the assignment on Blackboard, and the grades will be pushed back to your gradebook in Blackboard. Then you set that up with due dates and everything, and then your students go in there and they read, and they annotate, and they talk to other people, and they get graded for doing that. So whether they're right or wrong, it's not about right answers, it's about engaging with the text. Then you can look at what they've written, and Perusall will generate some reports for you, like confusion reports. So if there's a lot of questions on certain parts, you'll see that. And then you can plan your lecture based on what was done and talked about in Perusall. So you know ahead of time what they're interested in and what questions they're asking. So then you can go ahead and go to your lecture and begin with the things that the students are already familiar with because they actually did the reading. So I just want to show you some examples. This is an example of somebody else's course who it shows you how the confusion report works. So this will pop up in a section where students have highlighted, and it'll show you what their questions are. So you can kind of see different sections in Perusall where they're asking questions and comments. So another thing I do, in addition to using the readings, and I found it really, really helpful for students to they actually do the readings before they come to class, and that's wonderful as an instructor. I also started using it for discussion boards. So I have placed my discussion board questions, instead of putting them here on Blackboard, I've put them in Perusall. And this shows you a little bit about how this was discussing a graphic novel in my developmental psychology course, and students highlighted, you see the highlights, and then over here they discuss. So these are topics that were in the book or in our textbook, and they just highlighted and make their comments over here. And you can see in this particular view in Perusall, you can see how many comments are on each highlight. So you can go in there and kind of see what the discussions are, and then you can click on there and bounce around and learn more about how that works. Now here's another way I've been using Perusall. I've been using it for what is called group work in my Psych 100 course. And so we'll give examples on a worksheet for them to work in small groups. So I have 150 students in this particular class, and in Perusall they're broken down to groups of 15, and they work together on these assignments. And you'll see how, we've given an example research study, and then there's some questions underneath, and then they go in and then they comment over here with the answers, and they talk to each other and work out the answers. And then I can go in there and again correct misconceptions, but after they've engaged with these problems together. So this is similar to something that we would do in an in-person class, but they're able to do it online and not have to be all on it at the same exact time. They can work on their own schedule. So just if you're wondering what a couple of these things are, this shows you people that are reading right now, that are in the document right now when I'm in there live. And those are just their initials. And over here you see who they are too. I've blacked out names here, but you can tag people. So students will tag me if they want an answer to a question or a clarification. So it works really, it's been working really well for all of these different applications. So quick summary. I use Perusall for pre-reading assignments, which is what it was intended to be used for. I use it for online synchronous or asynchronous courses, and also for face-to-face courses. I use it for discussion boards, and it's a little bit more dynamic and user-friendly than the Blackboard discussion boards. I use it for group work and problem solving, so students can work together on these problems. So some basic how-tos: go and create an account on Perusall.com, join my course. Then you can, when you create your instructor account, you can upload your PDFs, you can put videos in there, you'll see. And you can also purchase a textbook through Perusall that can then be downloaded into Perusall, into your course. And then you can also embed it into your LMS or Blackboard, so you can just link straight to the Perusall assignments from there. So thanks so much for attending, and I hope I'll see you in my course.